At Ulta Beauty, we are absolutely using social media to drive engagement, impressions, reach, and to find new audiences. If you were all on social media, especially on LinkedIn, I highly implore you in your next spare couple minutes, when you scroll through your LinkedIn feed, you'll see that the post on your page will often tell you you're viewing this because one of your connections liked it, shared it, commented. You're being recommended this because of certain content you follow. Social media is really good about that, about delivering content directly to you based on your needs, your interests, the things you engage with, and the people you're connected to. We take large advantage of that here at Ulta Beauty by driving a brand ambassador program through, first and foremost, our recruiters. So we have the need to recruit for both the field or our retail center, but also for corporate. That means we have a pretty wide net with a wide variety of different targets that we need to meet. Organic social media allows us to do that pretty easily, just by first and foremost identifying the folks that you would like to turn into brand ambassadors. For us, the thing that made the most sense were our recruiters. We've got our corporate recruiters who each have a department-based focus, whether it be tech, HR, marketing, merchandising, etc. And then we've also got our field or our retail recruiters who have a regional or a location-specific focus as well. We're able to drive posts that are delivering jobs particular to that recruiter's their hiring needs or their location or their hard to fill stores directly to their social media as if they were posting it, and we're able to craft and control the narrative and messaging that goes out with that to make sure it's branded as well. And in addition, we're also able to do the same for employer brand content that allows us to enhance our message about Ulta Beauty and why we're the place to be. The nice thing is too, is that on our centralized LinkedIn page, I am consistently sharing culture pieces, behind the scenes, employer brand pieces that really help boost the engagement too. And that creates a centralized area where any employee, whether they be our recruiters or whether they be department leaders or other associates, can go and reshare and like and engage. I often like to refer to social media, especially organic social, as sort of the billboard of today. And the big importance of the brand ambassador piece to social media is that in the olden days, dare I say, as a graphic designer, you used to have a massive print media. You had a billboard here, flyers there, a radio hit here. And those things all paired together to create all of the touch points that you needed in order to drive traffic, whether it be for a product, a service, an event. Social media can do pretty much the exact same thing, just in a condensed period of time, more quickly across multiple channels, and more cost effective as well. And that is where your brand ambassadors come in. You were able to generate a strategy that has so many folks talking about your company and why you're the place to be from a recruitment perspective, where you not only can help drive engagement, but also messaging and consistency across a wide network of channels and deliver it directly to an audience that is based on the target that you are focusing on. Jeff, if you want to go to the next slide. While we started with our recruiters, we also started sort of a top-down funnel of adding more and more brand ambassadors into our strategy. So I myself am a brand ambassador for Ulta Beauty. I am not immediately a recruiter, but I have a feed of jobs and employer brand content I distribute as well. And we also have found that our C-levels like to be engaged in that as well. Our executives, they like to have a certain amount of jobs based on the departments that they oversee. And same thing with other department leaders, from directors to vice president levels as well for the corporate side. And we even have field business leaders, and we also have district managers and regional managers now that have job postings as well as employer brand engaging content going out for their specific target audiences in their locations. That way, we're casting a really wide net of specified roles in specific areas, and we're utilizing channels that are unique to drive those specific targets that we have, instead of focusing all of our engagement or all of our postings directly on our LinkedIn page. We can't post everything on our LinkedIn page. I can't post hundreds of times a day. Well, I could, but I think nobody would want to follow us on LinkedIn if I did that. And so that also gives us added opportunity for distribution by having our brand ambassadors. Now, we also invest in our brand ambassadors in a couple of ways. First and foremost, as you can see, we utilize our brand ambassadors for important strategic messaging. Michael counts as one of our phenomenal field recruiters here. And you can see that we use Michael to distribute teen hiring. We now hire teens in multiple states. We were able to get a lot of engagement on our teen hiring messaging through LinkedIn and our brand ambassadorship when we initially launched that several months ago. But outside that too, a way that we continue to drive traffic and awareness for our brand ambassadors and create kind of a nice little circular system of social recruitment is we talk about our ambassadors and our people on social as well. I included a post that I did about Michael, spotlighting him and the work he's doing, why he loves Ulta Beauty, what he recruits for, how long he's been with us. And that post got hundreds of likes. It got hundreds of comments, and it also drove engagement to Michael's page as well, where Michael immediately is hosting a slew of job postings for his location and employer brand content. So not only did we help drive more traffic to Michael, but also once they got to that page, they saw what Michael's needs were from a recruiting perspective, were able to look directly at jobs that he had available, and also found employer brand content about our benefits and culture that were specific to his area that might help a potential candidate decide to hit the apply button. So that's a little bit about our top to bottom strategy for brand ambassadorship. The nice thing is you can invest in tools that make it easy for you to distribute content across a wide variety of channels without needing to lift many fingers to get it done. That way you can have a really wide net of organic social recruitment postings going out, as well as employer brand that are templatized, branded, and strategic. And they can also help you get added focus and coverage for specific areas or hard to fill roles in areas where you might be lacking. So that's a little bit about what we're doing here at Ulta Beauty.
William, can you touch just a little bit about your brand ambassadors? How involved do they have to be? And I don't want to touch much on the CareerArc system and platform.
Yeah, you're fine.
But how involved do they have to be, or do they want to be? And do you get much pushback or feedback from them when you say, hey, we want to connect your profile to LinkedIn and share content? What are those conversations like?
I find that I get almost no pushback because it actually is such an easy system. For me as an administrator of, CareerArc, that is the tool we use, but there are other tools out there for scheduling that you might want to adopt. For us, it's easy because I can add a user very quickly. All they have to do is click an email link. And then after that, I can set the campaign up based on their focus and at a cadence that they trust me to set for them as the expert in social media. Otherwise, the only upkeep after that is if they have hard to fill roles that they want to run in a more strategic campaign to our centralized page. Every once in a while, they'll email me about adding those requisitions. Otherwise, I'll ask my ambassadors if they want to volunteer to be added to an employer brand campaign. I don't force anybody. 9 times out of 10, they do want to be involved though, because for them, from a recruitment perspective, the more content that can be shared on their behalf that they don't have to distribute or make on their own is saving them time. It's letting them put their own time into the things that are more important for them, scheduling interviews and follow-up. But to be honest, once your campaigns get set up and running, the upkeep is pretty easy, and your recruiters don't really have to do too much other than reauthorize their connection every 60 days.
Does Ulta do any type of employee referral bonus program, and can this platform or can posting to social play into that role for them?
We're definitely big on referrals, not necessarily always referral bonuses or any kind of thing like that per se, but this is definitely something that I know certain departments sometimes will do internal games with each other of oh, who can get the most traffic based on social this month or things like that. We don't have anything quite that sophisticated or organized, but I might steal that idea, Jeff. Thank you.
Here to help. Appreciate it.